Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back one more time. We are live here in Barcelona tonight for race number 6 for the multi-class league, Sim Racing 604. I'm your host, the Mordecai, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host, commentator guy, best dude on the competitive circuit, Nick King. Nick, what's going on, buddy?
It's going real good, but that was just a little overhyped for me.
You
But I
know,
appreciate it all the same.
it's our last event this season. I had to get it in there, man. I've been dying to say it all season.
Well, it's been a pleasure doing this past few weeks. I really enjoyed it.
Honestly, I'm excited for season 5, which I believe, from what I saw, it starts sometime in May. Am I correct there, or am I mistaken?
Now it's I believe we got 21 days before race one starts.
That is quite a bit of time. I guess there's gonna be some interesting one-off races in the time being. So if you guys are not part of the league, you're not part of Sim Racing 604, and you'd like to be, and you'd want to take part in the coming season 5, I'm going to post the link in chat right now, and I'll post it again one more time towards the end. But if you guys want to join and be part of that, there's definitely a lot of space from here until then. So there's definitely going to be a lot of racing going on, a lot of one-off and fun events. So if you guys want to go ahead and join, you're more than welcome to do so. It's a great community. And I guess while we wait here for the GT4s to finish up qualifying, Nick, is there anything that captivated you this season?
Well, there's been a lot of excitement in every race I got to watch, so there's always going to be fireworks.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think maybe one of my favorite moments, and I brought it up a couple times, but I think one of my favorite moments all season was watching Harrison Lynn, watching him race, and not so much with the GT4s, but watching him keep up with that little blue BMW with all the GT3s.
Yeah, he's been quite fast, and he don't like giving up positions too easy, regardless if it's a GT3 or a GT4. But you got to like that competitiveness.
Especially. Um, I guess now that the season has been released for season 5, the competitive league will be moving into 2 different splits. So it's going to be an interesting decision for these guys and everyone else that decides to join. We will be covering split number 2. So hopefully Harrison Lynn can be part of that. But you know what? I think having him as a rival on track will be equally as fun as well.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So let's go ahead and just kind of review so far how tonight's race is going to go. I do believe that it's going to be a night race. From the looks of it on track so far, it does look like the sun is setting here in Spain. But so far, it's been an interesting fight his last couple of races, but we have Joel Dallas in pole position. That's interesting. I'm at a loss for words here, Nick. We saw it coming while we were watching qualifying, but to not see Robin Borden on pole after 2 straight seasons, it's kind of a shocker.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But I think me and you seen firsthand last night how fast Dallas is.
Oh, definitely. For those of you guys who don't know, we had an event last night in Kielami. It was kind of what would you call that, Nick? An open, an open invitational with official terms.
Yeah, it was just a little quick one-off sprint race, and kind of thrown together at the last minute. But we had a good turnout and had a lot of fast drivers.
And so Joel Dallas was one of those drivers that we raced against. It was kind of interesting driving up against someone you've watched race pretty much like for the last couple months. I don't know if it's even been that long. I think this season started sometime in February, Nick.
That is correct.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting to race up against Joel. But honestly, it was a big surprise to see just how fast he was. He really came into it swinging, and honestly, he's way faster than I am. So um, it really isn't a surprise to see him ahead of Borden. By the way, I'm not that fast, so but he was faster than Nick, and Nick's lightning quick.
And I'll tell you what, too. Harrison Lynn, we've seen how good he's been in the GT4s, but he was in the GT3 last night, and I couldn't none of us keep up with him.
Now he's lightning
I think
fast as
I
well.
think Joel I think Joel Dallas might have given him a run for it, but he had some bad luck last night. They were both really quick.
You know, Nick. Speaking of bad luck, we made a little contact there, and I must apologize live in front of everyone watching.
No, that like I said, it's all in good fun, and I didn't have to be that aggressive either. So I'm just as much at fault as anybody.
Guys, don't let the voice fool you. Nick might be one of the nicest guys around, but when he's on track, it's business. He hunted me down for 2 laps and made the move. And if I just would have given him a little more space, I don't think I would have seen him the rest of the way. It was a great move, by the way.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, I was really surprised at how good you were last night. So, and you made such huge improvements since when you first started in the league. You can tell you put some work in. So, I really enjoyed racing with you.
Honestly, I think part of that just comes from watching these guys. It's kind of interesting because, for them, we invest our time to provide a service that, everyone can enjoy. But at the same time, it's kind of interesting because I feel like I'm getting equally as much out of it. Not just in just kind of the appreciation towards racing, but also in racecraft, being able to kind of attempt the same moves that they make, and trying to follow that kind of racer mentality that we see them display every Wednesday night.
Yeah, most definitely. And you can always learn something from another driver just by watching what he does.
Speaking of whom, I remember Harrison Lynn, his overtake on Jeffrey Bray as he used a lap car to get around him. I still think about that all the time.
Yeah, that was a good move. I'm sure he had that planned out. He's seen where he could take advantage of it, and he proves he's not fat, not only fast, but he's smart too.
He's a clever man on track. And so here we are going into this event. We are about to get started with the formation lap. We are going to go on board with Robin Borden for just a bit, as it's kind of tradition to do so. Although our pole sitter tonight is Joel Dallas. Robin Borden in P2. Kind of an interesting story here to follow tonight, as Robin has been our pole contender for the last 2 seasons. Clark Saylor in P3. Not an unfamiliar spot for Clark, but definitely closer than he has been the last couple races to Robin. So hopefully, if he's able to take the fight to Robin as fast as he can into turn one, he might have a shot at taking it to Joel. In P4, Christopher Greer. Let's hope that tonight he doesn't follow what once was his usual pattern of starting the race in P20. Let's hope no disconnects for him tonight. P5, Doug Welzel. Doug's come into this league for the first time this season, and he's shown quite a lot of pace. And so being a top 5 is not an outlier for us tonight. It's definitely his usual running spot. We have seen him run a lot higher. Someone who is running in somewhat of a higher spot tonight, Carter Close. We've seen him in somewhat this position before, but usually around that P10 slot. So from what we know of Carter, he's very aggressive, definitely brings the fight into turn one. And we've seen contact with him and Doug before. So I think that Doug might be a little worried having Carter behind him, as I believe it was in Nürburgring we saw a bit of contact with him and Greer. And Greer's not that far ahead, so they better watch out for that McLaren of Mr. Universe. In P7, we have Giancarlo Lenzi. Kind of a typical spot, and something Nick and we were discussing is we have yet to see his rival in the last couple of races, Luca Conti. So Luca, if you're watching this, man, we hope to see you next season. Someone we've hoped to see next season as well as we move on to the Porsche of Clark Muller is Adam Stark. Adam, my guy, if you watch this, come back, dude. It's going to be an interesting season in season 5. But Clark, kind of an interesting spot for him tonight in P8. We've seen him run in the top 3, so it might have been a difficult run for him tonight in qualifying. But let's hope that he's able to bring a top 5 finish tonight. Pardon for the tongue twisting, guys. It's the final event, and you know what? It's almost a tearjerker. It's kind of sad to see it go for so long. Jonathan Corkle, the highest running Lexus bro tonight in P9. You know what? Let's hope he takes the fight to Clark. Lexus versus Porsche, and rounding up the top 10, Aiden Benitez, great driver. So far, leading the fight from the Aston gang. So let's hope he can do something to defend Mike Smith in P11 as we come up to the starting line. And I guess for the next 21 days, it's the last time we cross the line. And there we are, we're green with Sim Racing 604 as we come down the line. Joel Dallas leading the fight, followed by Robin Borden. It looks like we have James Turnbull making a move there, and it's kind of dark, so it's going to be a little hard to see tonight. We're going to have to stick with the action a little closer. So far, no contact from everybody. Robin Borden on the inside, not making a move just yet, staying a good distance from each other. It looks like Charles Saylor is on the inside of Robin Borden. He's able to make the move. He's gotten ahead. Hopefully he makes it stick one more time. He's on the inside line, keeping it clean, keeping it good. So far, it looks like they're going for a little bit of switchback, but that is smart from Charles Saylor as he's going to be on the inside of the next turn. Christopher Greer coming up as he's getting pushed by Doug Walzel. Fantastic job by Charles so far, going side by side with Robin Borden. Robin keeping it on the inside. Great racing so far as we get down in lap 1. You know, Nick, I think this is the best we've seen him so far.
Yeah, it's been clean so far. It's a lot of tight racing, but they've kept it clean.
Christopher Greer attempting a move. It's kind of interesting camera set tonight, but let's hope that we're able to distinguish enough. I believe this is the first night event that we've broadcasted, Nick.
Yeah, you gotta love night racing. There's something about total darkness with just your headlights. It's challenging, but it's also fun to watch and fun to drive.
Well, let's hope we're able to distinguish these guys tonight, as it looks like Joel Dallas coming into lap number 2 has had a sizable lead from Charles Saylor. Fantastic racing by Joel. Charles, great job getting past Robin Borden as we discussed at the start, and hopefully he's able to bridge that gap to Joel for the fight for first. It was kind of interesting. I wouldn't have been able to guess it that in event number 6 we'd see Clark Saylor in P2 fighting for P1, but against Joel Dallas and not Robin Borden. It's kind of an interesting how we've had this Hamilton-Bottas relationship, and now we see him running in P2. So it's kind of an interesting moment here, as it's almost a Sochi, I believe, 2019 once more. Or 2020, forget. Moving a little further now with Christopher Greer. Not much to say about him, as it looks like Doug has given him a lot of room. Giancarlo Lenzi has moved up quite a bit, but we're going to see if they're able to get a closer fight, as it looks like Clark Muller is now on that rear end of Carter Close. Mr. Universe very aggressive. Hopefully he's able to defend, but let's hope that Clark's able to break that. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of a fight with Jonathan Corkle, as it looks like Aiden Benitez has gained a lot. Very great from Jonathan Corkle, trying to defend, being aggressive on the inside. A little bit of spin, a lot of oversteer from Jonathan as Aiden Benitez gets by. Same with Steve Fisher. Great job by Steve there as he passes his teammate. Mike Smith now on the inside of Jonathan Corkle. We almost saw a little bit of contact, but they kept it clean. That's something that we can expect from Mike Smith. Very clinical, but hopefully we see him be a little more aggressive out here tonight as Davin Sturdivant is closely followed behind James Turnbull, Adam Baker, and Vicente da Silva. We're going to move up one more time with the leaders. Hopefully Davin doesn't make the move on Mike Smith just yet. Joel keeping the lead, followed by Charles Saylor, Robin Borden, Christopher Greer. Not enough for Doug to make a move. Giancarlo Lenzi has gotten by Carter close. Carter now defending from Clark Muller. I believe that's where they were to begin with. So far, no one's made a move into turn one. And it looks like we have Davin Sturdivant who spun. Unfortunately, we're not able to look at this replay. And we have Mike Smith as well. So it looks like into turn one, the move was not made successfully by Davin and has forced Mike to move down into P26. That's a lot of positions lost, Nick.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Mike. But I've noticed Aiden, Benitez, he's made a few spots up since the beginning. He looks fast.
Yeah.
Right now, Jeff Bray is able to hold off Harrison Lynn at the moment for the GT4 lead.
That's a nice reversal as well. We've kind of have a Robin Borden, Charles Saylor kind of move here with the GT4s as well, where we have Jeffrey Bray leading Harrison Lynn. You know, it's kind of nice to see Jeffrey Bray ahead of Harrison for once. We've seen it a couple times, but it's good to see it once more.
Yeah, I'm sure Harrison Lynn appreciates the competition. He's pretty much run away with the GT4s this season, but I think that's why he's fought so hard against the GT3s. Is he wanted some competition against him.
Now, if you are watching the broadcast, I do want to apologize really quickly. Let's go ahead and get these intervals in there for you guys. You know, it's just last race type things, but we got it, so we're good. We're just going to ignore that happen. Joel Dallas maintaining his lead thus far. Charles Saylor a second behind. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to tell there how far he was before, but let's see if he can get closer within that second.
Robin Borden has fell back to fifth. Now Giancarlo Lenzi is looking to make up some ground on him. Now, it's usually see Robin Borden up front unless he gets wrecked or has some mishap. But
and you know, we discussed it kind of lightly last event, but we've kind of seen a pattern with Robin Borden. As every time he seems to fall into a bit of traffic, he just has a lot of difficulty making up those positions.
yeah, I've been there. When you lose some position, especially early in the race, you tend to drive too hard to try to make those spots back up, and a lot of times you end up hurting yourself in the long run.
So far, so good from Joel Dallas. Charles Saylor has made it 0.2 up closer to Joel. Not enough yet, and it looks like he's lost those 0.2 as soon as I called it. So pardon for the curse there, Charles. We're going to move a little further back into that P10 slot. Watch Steve Fisher, our second Lexus bro. He's doing so far a good job of staying ahead of Jonathan Corkle, who unfortunately has been pushed down a couple positions. Moving further on back to one of my favorite drivers, Leonard Cachola, We saw him running in P13, his lucky number. And hopefully Leonard can move up a little more. He always does some incredible moves towards the end of the race. So we're going to be watching out for him. Going a little back, we have some new drivers tonight. Victor Azevedo. And it looks like he's racing with Michael Sicca at the moment. And unfortunately for Davin, he has fallen back to P23. Someone we haven't discussed much, Thomas Knudsen. Looks like Thomas does have a lot of clean air. And it looks like we have a bit of a fight here with Mike Smith and Brian Heistand. Bill Shaw defending P25. And it looks like Mike Smith is gaining a lot of time there on Shaw.
Yeah, this is fixing to turn into a 3-car battle.
It's very weird to see to find Mike Smith fighting for P25. Stepping on back just a bit, Martin Warmington, kind of odd to see him this far out. Same with Jason Willett. I don't believe Jason started this far out, so something must have happened that caused him to fall this far back. Moving on with the GT4s, Jeffrey Bray still leading Harrison Lynn. Harrison about 800ths behind. We're going to keep an eye on this fight, and hopefully he's able to gain a little more time. I don't know if he's going to have enough room to make the move into turn one. It looks like Jeffrey Bray is making that little Mercedes as big as it can be. Definitely defending a little early on there, but it looks like they both went back onto the racing line. Unfortunately for Harrison, it looks like he's moved back 5/10 behind. Seems like he was a lot closer coming out of the chicane. Lost a bit of time there into turn one. Moving on back with the leaders, Joel Dallas still maintaining the lead away from Charles Saylor. Christopher Greer now defending P3 as Doug Welzel and Robin Borden have gained a bit more time and are now chasing him down for that position. Unfortunately for Giancarlo Lenzi, he has lost a bit, about 3 seconds behind Robin Borden. It's an interesting race there for Giancarlo, Nick. It's kind of odd to see him running with a lot of clean air.
Yeah, I don't think that'll last long though. He's already starting to cut into Robin Borden, the distance between them two. So I'd say next couple of laps he might be able to start looking to hunt down Borden. Moeller in 7th. It's odd to see him back here too. I'm sure he'll be making some moves in front.
You know, it's kind of interesting how much they've broken away from each other.
Yeah, they're kind of spreading out a little bit now.
Looked like Steve Fisher went a little wide there and just kind of had a weird balance in his car.
Yeah, Sicca and Oled is in the pits. Not sure if they had damage. Now Ruggiero's coming in the pits as well.
Yeah, it's very odd to see him in P36. I don't believe...
Must have had some difficulties.
Yeah, it has to be. It doesn't look like he has any damage on his car, though.
That's odd.
So far, Joel Dallas doing a great job. Charles Saylor not finding enough room to catch up. He's consistently 1 second ahead of him. Now, looking at their lap times, Nick, Joel Dallas is 1/10 ahead of him. Yes, I'm reading that right. Yeah, so he's 1/10 faster per lap. So they're very close, but, you know, he's going to have to gain a lot more time to bridge the gap. Someone else running in similar times is Robin Borden with a 144.8. So he's 2/10 behind Charles Saylor. However, Doug Welzel is running at a 145.2. So Robin Borden is catching him up a lot more each lap. And as I look on the grid, Giancarlo Lenzi is in the pits. He's fallen down to P14 now, which is kind of odd. He was running a 144.6, so he definitely had the pace. That's kind of odd.
Oh, Carter Close and Aiden Benitez had a little contact back in the pack and allowed Carter Close to get a position on Benitez. But now that's slowing them up for Steve Fisher to catch up to them and Corkle.
Here they come to turn one. Steve Fisher right behind Aiden Benitez. Aiden defending on the inside. He's not going to let him have it so easily. You know, after having contact with Carter, I definitely think he's going to be a little more aggressive defending the position. Unfortunately for Steve Fisher, it looks like he's lost a bit of the time that he had as he was right behind Aiden Benitez. Aiden now getting a lot closer to Carter. Now, if we look
and we have a new leader now. Sailors just got passed by Dallas for first.
Oh, that's a shame we missed it. It looks like
They're
we
both
caught him right on
still
the exit.
pulling. Yeah, they're both still pulling away from Greer though, who's in third, and he's now almost 7 seconds behind them two. I'd be looking for Dallas to maybe lay back for a minute and maybe let his tires cool off a little bit and have another run at Sailor here. I don't think he wanted to give up that top spot.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Charles, in his last lap, just put in a 145.7, and Joel Dallas is at a 148 flat. So it's kind of odd to see him 3 seconds behind the pace of Charles, as now Charles gets around Jeffrey Bray. Unfortunately for Joel Dallas, he's now mixed in the fight with Harrison Lynn. Harrison hopefully led him by, and he has. Now he gets by Jeffrey Bray. Harrison Lynn a lot closer to Jeffrey Bray. I don't know if he's going to have enough space to make the move. Attempting to go on the outside. Doesn't look like it's enough for him.
You got to hand it to Bray, though. He's put up a good fight, and he's held Harrison Lynn off for the first half of this race. So
definitely,
kudos to him.
This is the longest we've seen this fight play out. The traffic is starting to form behind them, so hopefully he's able to maintain a clear headspace and keep Harrison behind him. Harrison definitely aggressive. We see Jeffrey moving on the outside of the track to try to defend him. He's now positioning the car on the inside, trying to keep the position as Aiden Benitez now gets around. Although, from the looks of it, that could be Jason Willett. Christopher Greer and Doug Welzel right behind him. Harrison Lynn now having to make room. A little bit of contact there with Jason Willett and Christopher Greer. Harrison Lynn now stuck. 3 GT3s coming in. All right, it looks like the GT3's backed off. Harrison maintaining a clear line. Doug now making a move on Christopher Greer. Bit of a contact there as Christopher Greer makes contact with Harrison Lynn, and Doug Welzel gets a lot of curb. And it looks like we have 2 cars fighting out in the back. I'm not able to see because it's a little too dark tonight. But so far, Christopher Greer now gets around Harrison Lynn. Doug Welzel making a move. And it looks like the car that we were spectating there in the back is Robin Borden. And Jason Willett, unfortunately for Jason, he is a back marker tonight. Jeffrey Bray not having to defend as Christopher Greer gets around the outside. Doug Welzel trying not to lose any more pace. And so far he gets around him well enough. That's unfortunate for Harrison as he now is sandwiched on the outside, having Robin Borden as Robin now moves on the inside of Jeffrey Bray. Honestly, it almost looked like Jeffrey might have not seen him there. That was a very close turn-in.
Yeah, I think the GT3 traffic coming through there was a little benefit to Bray. He was able to pull out for a small lead, but now Harrison's closing back in.
Bit of oversteer there for Harrison Lynn as now Jason Willett is going to attempt to get around. And it looks like Clark Muller as well on the inside. That's two GT3s. And fortunately for Jeffrey Bray, he did not let him go around this time. So he is going to maintain the lead away from Harrison Lynn as now Clark Muller on the inside. Once again for the switchback. There goes Clark around Harrison Lynn. Jason Willett still not being able to get around Jeffrey Bray. This is only adding with Jeffrey's lead. If any more GT3s are able to get in between him and Harrison, that will allow him to keep that distance away as the GT3 traffic is starting to flow in. Jeffrey Bray not lifting off for Jason Willett. Jason gets past. Clark Muller gets past. And it looks like Jeffrey has learned his lesson there as he quickly got behind Clark Muller to not attempt any overtake from Harrison Lynn, as it looks like Carter Close now is behind, as well as Aiden Benitez. Two more GT3s in front of Harrison Lynn. Steve Fisher right behind Harrison Lynn as well. That's four GT3s that now have gotten past Harrison Lynn. That is definitely aiding Jeffrey Bray tonight in the fight for the GT4s.
Yeah, that's incredibly frustrating for a multi-class driver in a GT4 car trying to battle for the lead in their class and trying to avoid GT3s running over you. So I'm sure Harrison Lynn's not too happy at the moment.
Definitely not. Checking up one more time with the leaders. Charles Saylor still in the lead, but it looks like Joel Dallas is running 0.3 faster per lap. And it looks like we have a drive-through for Aiden Benitez, possible track cuts.
Oh, that's got to sting a little.
That Porsche of Charles Saylor, faster speed on exits. Now, it does look, unfortunately, like Charles has slowed down. He's running a 145.6. Joel Dallas still 0.3 faster. Joel has slowed down to a 145.3. So he is going to bridge that gap a lot sooner than we saw Charles. Christopher Greer maintaining his lead ahead of Doug Welzel. He is running 0.1 faster per lap at a 145.6. Doug 145.7, and at almost an identical time, about 100th off the pace there from Robin Borden, as it looks like they both get around Rob Ruggiero. Unfortunately for Rob, running all the way down in P34 tonight. Clark Muller, unfortunately nowhere near Robin Borden. It looks like his fight tonight is going to be for P6 as we get down into the last 7 minutes of tonight's race. Carter Close definitely has bridged a gap to Carter Close, and it looks like Mr. Universe is 0.3 faster per lap than Clark Muller. Now, Nick, that's kind of something that I never expected to say. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's definitely something to keep your eye on now. But I think, did we see what happened to Giancarlo Lindsay? He's in the pits now, showing 5 laps down.
We didn't see what happened to him, but we did see him when he first pulled into the pits. It's a very weird situation to see him having retired from event number one.
Yeah, because he was running really well.
We're gonna have to hopefully get him in here post race and kind of briefly ask him what happened there. One more time with the leaders, Charles Saylor still ahead of Joel Dallas. It looks like Joel has gained the 10th behind Charles Saylor, as he's now running a 145.6. He has slowed down a bit, but he is 2/10 faster than Charles. Although on track, it does look like he's still 7/10 behind him. So, I'd say in maybe the next 4 laps, we can see a move from Joel if he keeps this kind of pace.
Yeah, you got to believe he's going to be fighting for it.
Now, with 5 minutes left, it looks like this battle might come down to the last lap.
Now, I'm not giving up on Jeff Bray and Harrison Lynn just yet for the GT4 win. Harrison's on the back bumper of Bray now, but we know they have a GT3 coming by to try to get by those two. And then De Silva's also trying to get by, so this is going to help Jeffrey Bray again. I'm sure Harrison Lynn is going to be livid.
Yeah, especially now that Adam Heller has gotten by.
Every time he gets close to Jeff Bray, GT3 traffic comes and separates again. So that's got to be frustrating.
I think Jeffrey definitely is playing a great strategic game here, as we can see him holding back the traffic just a bit to somewhat bunch them up to allow them to get past Harrison Lynn. That's allowing him a good buffer, as now Vicente De Silva does get through Jeffrey Bray. Although, unfortunately for Harrison Lynn, he has Leonard Cachola and Aiden Benitez now to contend to. As you said, Nick, it's tough, and here he is, Lucky Leonard in P13, his lucky number. We called it one more time. He's moved up 2 positions. Hopefully we see something from Leonard tonight, as it looks like Aiden Benitez now attempting a move on Harrison Lynn. Wheel to wheel they go down the inside. Leonard Cachola on the outside of Jeffrey Bray. Aiden Benitez definitely allowing him to get past. Here comes Harrison Lynn on the outside. Is he going to make the move with the toe from Aiden Benitez? That's going to send Jeffrey Bray very wide. Harrison Lynn, Jeffrey Bray going wheel to wheel. Harrison on the inside. It looks like Jeffrey Bray trying to outbrake him. Unfortunately, he overcooked it and sent it a lot wider. That's going to allow Harrison Lynn to get on the inside and get the pass for first place with the GT4s.
That was pretty smart on Harrison Lynn's part. He's seen an opportunity and he took it, and it paid off for him. So now he's got the lead back. So all is good in his world right now.
I thought the line you were going for there is all is good in the universe. Harrison Lynn is in front of Jeffrey Bray once more. Now, Nick, that was definitely a great move there. And from the way I was seeing it is Harrison Lynn was at a disadvantage. But as we saw him come into turn 1, he was wheel to wheel with Aiden Benitez, really got into that slipstream, and just as Aiden Benitez was very aggressive behind Leonard Cachola, Harrison Lynn just followed in, and just unfortunately for Jeffrey Bray, he really overcooked it into that turn. We definitely saw him break a lot later, trying to get the position around the outside, but that forced him to have to brake a lot heavier and lose a lot of time. And now Jeffrey Bray is in that position reversal there, as it looks like Pete Stepani now is getting around him.
Now I think we're going to go back up front between Saylor and Dallas. Dallas is closing back in on him. We've got just 2 minutes to go in race 1. So we might have a battle right to the finish line on this one.
So it looks like their tires have slowed them down a bit, but Joel Dallas is still maintaining that 2/10 per lap quicker pace as he's running a 145.7, Charles 145.9. It doesn't look like we're going to get much action from P3, but Christopher Greer running an almost identical time to Joel Dallas as they get around John Correa. Here comes Joel Dallas, very close to John as he makes the move, going for the overtake on the inside. Unfortunately for Joel Dallas, this last lap, it looks like he lost 3/10. Charles Saylor has. They both lost time there, but unfortunately for Joel, the 2/10 he was up, he's moved down almost 5/10 from his prior lap. If we don't see a mistake from Charles Saylor, Nick, I do think that this might be his first win of the season.
Yeah, you can bet he's not going to give it up too easy. So, last race of the season, everybody wants to win, but when you're in first with less than 2 minutes or less than 1 minute to go now, you don't want to give that spot up.
Now, from their lap times, we definitely see they are losing a lot of grip on track. Without having a pit stop, these tires are degrading. What do you think, Nick? You think he might cook it a little too much coming into this final lap?
Yeah, that's entirely possible. He's trying to give it all he's got, and both these guys want to win, so they're going to push as hard as they can. But unfortunately, it looks like Joel Dallas is starting to fall back just a little bit.
Now, they do have 12 seconds. I do believe that's enough time to cross the finish line one more time for a final lap, as it looks like they are now behind the GT4 of... Oh, there it is, Nick. Down the line they go. They crossed it as soon as the time went down. Charles Saylor coming in for P1 for the final event. Joel Dallas, P2. That's a great job. Christopher Greer, P3. Doug, P4. Robin Borden, P5. Mr. Universe coming in through the last turn, about to close through the line. Into P6 he goes, followed by Clark Muller, P7. Followed quickly behind by Steve Fisher in P8, as it looks like James Turnbull fights it out with Jonathan Corkle. P9 for Corkle, P10 for Turnbull. Vicente De Silva with Adam Baker now. And it looks like they are going to finish P11 and P12 as they cross the line. Aiden Benitez in P13. Unfortunately for Leonard, losing out that position. Coming in P14, it was not his lucky night tonight. Bit of oversteer there from Ed Berger, P15, as he's followed by Pete Stepani, P16. And then we have Mike Smith and Adam Heller fighting it out for P17. That's unfortunately for Mike. He's going to come in P18 right behind Adam Heller. Victor Azevedo, P19. Brian Heiston in P20. As it looks like Harrison Lynn has come in P1 for the GT4s. Conrad Abbott, P21, followed by Davin Sturdivant, P22. Shell Smith, P23. Bill Shaw, P24. And unfortunately for Martin Warmington, I don't want to say it, but he might have run out of fuel one more time. That was not the case in Donington, as we kind of quickly called out. But this is it's kind of become a tradition to end the race watching Martin Warmington slow down to a crawl. But for the GT4s tonight, Harrison Lynn beating it out from Jeffrey Bray, followed by Jeremiah Daly, P3, Nick Green, P4, John Correa, P5, and Mark Keown, P6. That was an interesting event tonight, Nick.
That was really good. We had a couple little accidents at the beginning, but other than that, drivers were really clean, really fast, and they made it exciting.
Yeah, definitely. I think tonight was one of the fewest nights where we had kind of a solid mix of what we've seen all season. There's a good amount of action, clean driving all around. There's been a good amount of space between the drivers. We didn't see them group up as much, but they definitely managed the traffic a lot better. I think this is the best we've seen them manage the traffic all season.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I think we've seen Jeffrey Bray and Harrison Lynn. We've seen how they've tried to use the GT3 traffic to their advantages, and sometimes it's worked for one, and sometimes it's worked for the other one. So, but it's
Yeah,
been very interesting.
that was a fantastic move by Harrison Lynn. And as we saw that in Zandvoort, he made the same move, and we discussed it before this race, getting that inside toe from the overtaking GT3. And he always does it at the trickiest times. I guess what we saw tonight when we saw him getting behind all those GT3 cars, I definitely thought that as a disadvantage for Harrison. But it looks like Harrison was just slowly waiting to catch his prey as he closed in on Jeffrey Bray.
Yeah, this is a great way to kick off the last race of the season for the Fun League with a good race one. So, race two is going to be really exciting. So, I wouldn't miss this one.
And it looks like for the fastest lap tonight, it was Giancarlo Lenzi with a 144.6. So that's definitely a shame to have pulled in the fastest lap and have had to retire. So let's hope that in event number 2, we're able to see a lot more from him tonight. We're going to reset one more time. So we have our
Yep.
counter. We have less than 2 minutes
Yep.
before event number 2. We're going to take a quick break here. Don't go anywhere. The battle is not over yet. Event number 2 is about to begin. Nick, do you
All right.
fancy a break?
Yes, sir, I do. I gotta have a break. I'll be right back.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. That was a bit of a long break for us, but that was definitely an interesting event there in event number 1. And let's hope that we hear from Nick in a bit, unless he beat me to it. All right, it looks like we beat Nick tonight, so that's all right. We're going to wait for him as this formation lap gets underway. I guess in the meantime, while we do wait, I'm going to post the server link one more time. So if you guys are not part of the Sim Racing 604 community and you'd like to take part in Season 5, I posted the link one more time in chat. Come on in, say hello. It's a great group of guys. It's a great community. You guys won't regret it. And let's get a little closer here. And it sounds like Nick King has returned.
Yeah, you ready for the second race?
I am very excited. What do you think? What do you think is going to go on in event number 2? Do you think that they're going to be aggressive like always?
I'm gonna predict chaos. This is the last race of this season, so nobody's gonna leave anything on the table. They're gonna go all out. And I think Joel Dallas really wants this win.
All right, guys. The man's got a point. It's the last event. This is the last time we'll be racing here in Season 4. All the chips are on the table and no one's got anything to lose. Nick, I'm kind of scared now that you put that in my mind.
It's gonna be fun. We're getting ready to go green now.
All right. Here we go. As we
take a deep breath.
As we approach the line for the final time, Sim Racing 604, event number 2, racing in Barcelona. We have Robin Borden and Joel Dallas leading this race. Christopher Greer, Charles Saylor fighting it in the back as Carter Close tries to divide him. He breaks a bit. We have a bit of avoidance of contact. That's all right. That's all good. Charles Saylor getting on the inside of Christopher Greer. Bit of contact there with Greer and Robin Borden. Robin Borden pushing him back one more time. It looks like the fight tonight is in the back for P4 with Christopher Greer. Carter Close on the outside, followed by Doug Welzo, as it looks like they are racing wheel to wheel. No sort of contact tonight. Joel Dallas maintaining his lead. Charles Saylor P2. Carter Close and Doug Welzel maintaining that good fight as they go wheel to wheel tonight. Doug on the inside, Giancarlo Lenzi and Clark Muller wheel to wheel as well, as it looks like Clark gets ahead or maintains his lead. So far, so good. Not a lot of contact as we've seen, no yellow flags as well. It looks like we might have had some contact with the GT4s of Jeremiah Daly and Nick Green. So far, Joel Dallas maintaining his lead, and it looks like we have some contact in the back with Aiden Benitez and what looks to be James Turnbull. Unfortunately, we do not have replays available tonight, so we're just going to have to keep on going. Charles Saylor in P2 doing his best to catch up. Christopher Greer defending from Robin Borden. These guys have been aggressive, but they are managing to keep the race clean tonight. Doug Welzel now behind Robin, as it looks like Clark is still attempting to get by Mr. Universe as he's followed by Giancarlo Lenzi. The times are coming in. Unfortunately, they are a little offset there by the formation lap, so we will follow them one more time in the next lap. Joel Dallas in the lead so far. It doesn't look like anyone's going to make a move into turn 1 thus far. We're going to move slightly back. Not so much happening. A little further into P10, Mike Smith doing a great job of keeping his position. Hopefully he doesn't lose it out like before. Nick,
I think Mike wants to get a good result race too, so I think I'd like to see a little aggression out of Mike Smith tonight.
Yeah, I definitely. I always think back to his video about maintaining a clean safety rating, and I believe he definitely follows that to the letter. But like you said, I want to see some more from Sim Racing 604, and I want to see him beat these guys out. Definitely put in the fight. I think he's sandbagging us just a little bit.
He's such a nice guy.
And Joel Dallas still in the lead from Charles Saylor. Like you said, Nick, he's definitely fighting it out. He doesn't want to lose it one more time to Charles.
I think with all the bad luck Robin Borden's had this season, I think he's going to really try to fight to get up there to the front.
Unfortunately for Robin, it looks like he's stuck behind Christopher Greer, and he's not finding a lot of space to get around him. As it looks like so far, Charles Saylor has put in the fastest lap with a 145.1. He is 1/10 faster than Joel Dallas. Christopher Greer is 6/10 behind Charles, and it looks like Robin Borden is about 3/10 behind Christopher. So it's going to be an interesting fight here for the top five.
I think Jeff Bray's put in a little extra practice because he's leading the GT4 class right now. Harrison Lynn behind him, and he's done a good job not trying to keep him behind him so far.
Great job by Jeffrey Bray, sticking on the inside, breaking up the toe from Harrison and moving over to the outside of the track. Great job by him, allowing Harrison not to get through, and hopefully he manages the traffic as well as he did before. And let's hope he doesn't let the strategy of Harrison Lynn get to him tonight, as Harrison Lynn attempts to move down the inside. That's a great defense by Jeffrey Bray.
Yeah, they're going to get this sorted out. Just we have some more GT3 traffic's coming behind them, so it's going to end up hurting one of the two. So they need to get this sorted out quickly.
And here comes Brian Heisten on the inside of Harrison Lynn. Harrison did not expect the move, as it looked like he moved out at the last second. Brian Heisten now attempting to get past Jeffrey Bray. That's a lot of speed being carried by Harrison Lynn on the inside. And there it is, Jeffrey Bray one more time breaking the toe. Breaking on the inside. Very close, very aggressive. Unfortunately, I do believe that Jeffrey Bray might be looking at his rearview mirror a little too much, keeping Harrison Lynn behind him. A lot of braking from Jeffrey Bray.
Almost some contact there, but Harrison Lynn was able to keep off of him. So no harm, no foul.
And it looks
Meanwhile,
like
Joel Dallas is pulling away a little bit from Charles Saylor.
it seems like he is roughly 4/10 faster per lap. He has now put in our fastest lap of a 144.9. Joel Dallas is definitely picking up the speed a lot more. Oh, Robin Borden going very wide. That's a lot of speed being carried out by that Porsche.
Yeah, this might get interesting here for the top five.
Seems like they're very spaced out again.
I like what I'm seeing from Mike Smith so far too. He's been able to hold on to his 10th place start here, so, and he's got a good gap on Vicente da Silva behind him, so maybe Mike Smith can hold on for a top 10.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's running 2 seconds faster than Vicente da Silva. And unfortunately, he's 2 seconds or 2/10 slower than Jonathan Corkle. So if he's able to gain a bit of time there, we might see a fight for P9. Fortunately for Joel Dallas, that's a lot of clean air, as he's put in a 145.2. Unfortunately for Charles, he is 7/10 behind him per lap. Christopher Greer being 2/10 behind now. Christopher putting in a 145.5. That 4/10 per lap is allowing him to bridge that gap. We might see it coming into this lap. If he keeps his pace, we might see him move into P2, overtaking Charles Saylor.
it looks like we've been incident free for the first 10 minutes of this race. So surprised the chaos hadn't started yet, but maybe they're saving that for the end.
You know, I almost kind of felt that we saw a little bit of it. It might be possible that it's kind of the opposite reaction, and instead of coming in with aggression, it's kind of it might be a chill race for them. Who knows? Nick, feel free to tell me I'm wrong because I want to see them fight it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait too long because we've got real tight racing here between third place Christopher Greer all the way back to Doug Welsel in fifth. So these guys are starting to bunch up together. We might see a little action out of them too.
And it looks like we had some contact with Harrison Lynn and Jeffrey Bray. We definitely saw Jeffrey Bray pull back. We do have an incident report, but it looks like it might have been contact with Harrison Lynn, as Harrison Lynn did slow down to give the position back. So they are fighting once more as they were, but they might have a bit of damage from whatever the result of that contact was.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Harrison Lynn. He give the spot, he give the position back, and I don't think he was too happy with the way he's handled that situation. So it's very nice to see him giving that spot back and then try to come back at him and pass him clean this time.
For sure. Charles Saylor still defending P2, although I'm incorrect, folks, as it looks like Christopher Greer has made the move and he's into P2 now.
Oh, Joe Dallas better watch out. I think Christopher Greer's on a mission.
From their lap times, he is not close so far to the pace of Joel Dallas. It looks like Joel is a second faster, putting in another personal best with the fastest lap so far with a 144.6. He was currently at a 144.7. He has put in another personal best with a 144.6. Harrison Lynn, 4/10 behind him. Christopher Greer has made up some time now, as he is 4/10 behind. He was almost a second behind him last lap, so he is catching him up. Unfortunately for Charles Saylor, moving down to P3, has lost a lot of time to Christopher Greer. And it looks like now the gap is... sorry, I can't do math, folks. But it's very close. I looked at one number and then I looked at another and then I just couldn't compute.
Something might have happened to Giancarlo Lindsay a few laps back, because now Mike Smith and Jonathan Corkle have gotten by him. That'll move Mike Smith up into ninth.
That's unfortunate for Giancarlo.
Oh, sorry. Now it's showing Giancarlo Lindsay ahead of Mike Smith.
No, he's definitely behind him. Nope, you might be right. I'm seeing what you're seeing, but on track it looks like he is ahead of him and Vicente da Silva. And there it is. It looks like these leaderboards do always like to take their time to catch up with the action on track.
That doesn't make our job that easy, does it?
No, it doesn't. If only this was iRacing, Nick.
Yeah, I think iRacing handles the spectator part of this and the broadcasting abilities. I think iRacing's got a huge advantage right now over any other sim.
Joel Dallas now getting through the GT4 traffic as he makes it by his first car of John Correa. We're gonna see the action get a lot tighter now, as here comes Christopher Greer attempting his first overtake with the traffic tonight. This is
I'm sorry, we just had a little more contact between Harrison Lynn and Jeffrey Bray.
Oh, that's unfortunate. They're fighting it out for sure, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on these two for the next couple of laps to see what happens.
Great job by John Correa staying out of the traffic. Unfortunately for Carter Close, he might have lost a bit of time. Robin Borden still hunting down Charles Saylor, not close enough to make the move just yet.
Meanwhile, Joe Dallas has about a 4-second lead over Christopher Greer at the moment.
That's a lot of time. All right, one more time now through the GT4s. Nick Green now, the next victim of the GT3s. Robin Borden a lot closer to Charles Saylor now as they're going to get past Jeremiah Daly into the chicane. Jeremiah on the inside now allowing them to get through. Great job by Jeremiah. Moving out of the way now. Robin Borden a lot closer as they all get by. Robin Borden on the outside. Robin Borden going wide. We've seen this before. Doug Welso getting by. This is going to allow Carter Close to have a run on Robin Borden now as he moves down the inside. Mr. Universe on the attack on Robin Borden into turn one. There he goes, making the move before the turn. Fantastic job by Mr. Universe.
Yeah, we're seeing some good racing here. Looks like Robin Borden is, man, that guy's got to be frustrated.
You know, we saw a similar move in event number one. Doug Welso moving on the inside, not enough to get by. There he is, overcooking it. It goes Charles Saylor, Doug Welso down the inside. They're going to fight it into the next turn. Doug making the overtake, getting the inside line. That's it for Charles Saylor as he loses P3 now. Doug Welso getting by.
And believe it or not, Lucky Leonard is running 13th.
There he is one more time. We're just going to quickly go to Leonard. I gotta hand it to him. P13, it's his number.
I think he's doing this on purpose.
For sure. For sure. He didn't start 13th, but he definitely likes to, you know, it's almost like Hulkenberg. He has his number, you know. He never goes higher than it, but he always just dances right on it. And I guess it's kind of fitting that he's running with that Renault yellow. So let's hope he can break out of that.
Now we see Harrison Lynn making a move on Jeffrey Bray down the front stretch with GT3 coming behind him. Joel Dallas, the leader.
And it looks like Jeffrey Bray might be attempting that toe, that same move we've seen Harrison Lynn carry out through Zandvoort and here in Barcelona as Christopher Greer gets involved. This might be the move as it's going to force Harrison Lynn to be tighter on the inside. Jeffrey Bray having a lot more speed to be able to carry out through that turn. Great job by Harrison Lynn getting past him. Now that Doug Welso's going around the outside, this might be the time for Jeffrey Bray to make the move on Harrison Lynn. Harrison Lynn braking. On the inside goes Doug. Getting the push from Doug. Jeffrey Bray now on the inside. He might make the move going into the turn. Definitely Harrison Lynn is not happy about that contact with Doug Welso. Jeffrey Bray on the inside. GT4 is fighting it out for first place as Charles Saylor attempts to get by. Here comes Carter Close and Robin Borden. Charles Saylor and Carter going on the inside of Harrison Lynn, getting around just fine. This is a tough battle for Jeffrey and Harrison now that Robin Borden is getting involved, and it looks like that might be Clark Muller or Giancarlo Lindsay. No, it is the Porsche of Clark Muller also getting by Harrison Lynn. They've got around just fine. It looks like we got a bit of contact there. Not so much to lose a lot of time, but it looks like we did get a little tap on that bumper. Just a little high five from Harrison Lynn as the GT3s get by. You know, Nick, I did have to go get more water because this is intense tonight.
Yeah, I figured. You're doing a good job, man. I enjoy doing this.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm humbled by your compliments. All right, Nick, I'm going to toss the reins to you.
Oh, sorry about that.
It was a test. Yeah, it was a test, but now
Yeah,
it's for
I
real.
failed miserably.
No, it's
No,
all good.
I'm trying to. Yes, it's tough with me trying to. I'm trying to go back and forth, look at some of these fights, and then we've got. It's fun watching these GT3 cars navigate through the GT4 leaders because that's creating a lot of excitement between them, and it makes the racing so much more fun when it's multi-class like that.
You know what's interesting is
But
that we came into this season, and I was definitely a lot more excited to watch the GT3s, but I never expected on the last race to really be excited and so enthralled by the GT4s.
yeah, that's no doubt. And I don't know if you can look and see or not, but is Christopher Greer running faster lap times than Joel Dallas? Because it looks like to me he's closing in a little bit on him.
So it looks like you are correct. He has gained a lot of time. Joel Dallas has gotten slower by 2 seconds. Christopher Greer now is 1/10 behind him, so he has definitely bridged that gap a lot. Coming into now, as they cross the line, we're going to see what their new times are. And it looks like Christopher Greer catching up once more. He is now 300s closer. They are both running 144.5. Unfortunately, it looks like he is a bit far away. He's about 3.4 seconds behind. So that's quite a bit of a distance to manage, but he is on par with his laps.
Yeah, that's just going to make it tough. There's only 10 minutes to go in this race, and you're not going to make up 3 seconds by going, half a tenth faster per lap. So he's still got a little work to do.
Someone that surprised me is Clark Muller, uh, getting that rivalry between him and Robin Borden active one more time. It's great to see Clark running higher, but it's almost weird to see these two running 5 positions lower than we have seen them before. You
Yeah,
know,
after you watch these guys, they pretty much running they'll finish close to where they usually are against these other guys, and it kind of throws you for a loop when they're a little faster sometimes, and then sometimes when they're a little slower.
and speaking of slower, it looks like Giancarlo Lenzi now getting a lot of, I don't even know what to call it, but the guy is going wide. He's losing a lot of time there to James Turnbull. And Nick, I have to address this. I believe I've been calling James Jonathan almost the entire season.
I didn't catch that one. I don't. That's why I usually stick to last names, and a lot of times I don't, because I don't have what I see is just their letter, their first name, and then their last name. So, in order for me not to confuse myself any more than I already am, I
there's
try to just.
there's a lot of J's. There
Yes, it
have
is.
been. Unfortunately for Giancarlo Lenzi, this is not the fight that I believe he wanted to see tonight, especially with Davin Sturdivant as he is running tonight P14, as Aiden Benitez gets very close to Davin. Not close enough, unfortunately. It looks like the new livery might not be bringing Davin much luck tonight. As Aiden Benitez goes around the outside and gets past Davin Sturdivant. That was a lot of speed. It looks like Davin was heavy on the brakes. That's an interesting situation to see. That almost looked like a DRS maneuver from Aiden Benitez. By the way, I apologize for all my Formula One anecdotes. It's just too hard not to. Nick, I haven't asked you, are you much of a Formula One fan?
That's something I never really got into watching a lot of. I like to try to pretend like I can drive the F1 cars in Sims, but I've never really gotten into it that much, but I still love all forms of motorsports. Anything with wheels and a motor, it's good for me.
No, I respect it. And it looks like Aiden Benitez made a great move on Leonard Cachola. Now he looks like he is on the inside of Harrison Lynn. They almost made contact. So far, so good. Unfortunately for Lucky Leonard, he has lost his lucky 13. He's going to be hunting that down now from Aiden Benitez, as it looks like Harrison Lynn is not giving up the position. I don't know where Jeffrey Bray is, but he's nowhere near behind him, as it looks like they're both going to get past. Great move by Leonard Cachola, as well as he's getting that toe. And it looks like Leonard Cachola is putting himself on the inside of Harrison, and he's going to be hopefully on the inside of Aiden Benitez. Aiden defending. Not a lot of room for Leonard to catch up, as Davin Sturdivant now gets pushed back into P15. That makes me wonder.
That's a shame. I don't. Maybe Jeffrey Bray lost the server, lost connection or something. Because I don't see him on the leaderboards at all.
You know, Nick, I believe that is the case. Unfortunately, we have lost Jeffrey Bray. That's going to be a DNF for him this season. And we do have confirmation, Nick, his game did crash.
Oh wow, that's a tough pill to swallow there.
Definitely is. Jeff, that was great racing out there, bud, and look forward to seeing you next season, whichever split you decide to go to. If you go into split 1, it's going to be a pleasure racing with you. So far, so
thank
good.
you, Jeff. You made it interesting tonight.
For sure. That was great racing there with Harrison Lynn for the fight, for the GT4s. As we look at the GT3s, Joel Dallas doing a great job of maintaining his lead. With 5 minutes left to go, he is 1/10 faster than Christopher Greer with a 5.9 second difference on track. That's gonna, without any sort of contact or accident, that might result in Joel Dallas bringing it home for his first win here with Sim Racing 604. That's honestly, he came in the season as a newcomer midway through, and he showed a lot of pace in Donington, and I think he's earned it.
Yeah, he has. He's been really, really quick. It's been fun to watch these guys
for sure
throughout the season. You see, you can notice some of them have improved from what they were, and you can just really tell that the first time we seen Joel Dallas, he was fast from the get-go.
And it's funny that you bring this up, because we are on board now with Charles Saylor, as he is being hunted down by Mr. Universe. Carter running in P5. That is a definite flip from what we saw in event number 1. He's gained a lot of time, found a lot of pace, has not lost his positions like before. And, it looks like as he crosses the line, he is on par with a 145.5. He's about 800ths behind Charles Saylor. And it looks like he's 4/10 behind him, Nick. It looks like this might be the fight to watch for the last couple laps as they head into the last 3 minutes of this race.
And it's hard to believe we only got less than 3 minutes left in this season.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, we'll be back for next season 5, though.
I just can't believe it's 21 days away.
Yeah, I know it. Did you notice, is it going to be multi-class or just GT3s?
I believe it's just GT3. It looks like GT4s will get their own league on Thursday nights. And I do believe that they are open to join, so I believe you can be part of multiple leagues this coming season. And fortunately for Carter Close, he is a lot closer now to Charles Saylor. both going a bit wide there. That's not going to help Carter Close out. We're going to watch them as they cross the line one more time. Then we're going to move back, see their updated times. It looks like Carter Close now is 0.2 faster than Charles Saylor. Coming into turn one, not enough to make the move. Charles Saylor definitely tied on the inside, but it definitely looks like that McLaren is carrying a lot more speed than the Porsche. Let's move away for a second in the final minutes. Oh, as I say that, Carter Close, a lot of oversteering into the wall he goes. He attempted to move on Charles Saylor, and it wasn't enough to get around the inside. Definitely blipped the throttle too much and caused that car to spin. That's going to be P4 for Charles Saylor tonight. And it looks like Robin Borden might be closer to catch up now, and it looks like the board has not updated yet, but Robin Borden has now moved up to the P5, as well as Clark Muller into P6, pushing Carter Close into P7. "20 seconds left, less than that. It looks like 10. This might be the cross on the finish line for the win, and it looks like it will be Joel Dallas with the win, event number 2. Joel Dallas, great job, coming in P1. Christopher Greer, P2. Doug Welzel, P3. And Charles Saylor maintaining the position away from Carter Close, P4. Robin Borden, P5, followed by Clark Muller. Carter Close, unfortunately, losing out 2 positions. Jonathan Corkle, P8. James Turnbull ahead of Giancarlo Lenti, P9. Vicente da Silva is going to finish P11 ahead of Mike Smith. Mr. Sim Racing 604, the man himself, crossing the line for the last time. Season 4, P12 it is for Mike Smith. Here comes Aiden Benitez in number 13. That's unfortunate for Leonard, but Leonard won't finish far behind his favorite number. P14 it is, as Davin Sturdivant crosses P15. Adam Baker crossing the line ahead of Rob Ruggiero, P16. Rob with his highest finish tonight in P17, followed by Pete Stepani coming in P18. Victor Azevedo fighting it with Steve Fisher for the last couple turns. Unfortunately for Steve, he got a lot of curve. That's going to affect his exit speed. Victor Azevedo will finish P19. Steve Fisher will round us out in the top 20 as Adam Heller is about to cross the line in P21. Ed Berger coming in behind Harrison Lynn, P22. Harrison Lynn comes in with P1 for the GT Force, and it looks like that's a different car. Thomas Knutson, P23, followed by Martin Warmington. It's a great sight to see Martin cross the line with enough fuel. Here he comes into P24, and the rest follows Brian Heiston, Conrad Abbott, P26, Shell Smith, P27, rounding out the GT3s, Harrison Lynn in P1. Great race by Harrison. Unfortunately for Jeffrey Bray, he did disconnect. That is a DNF there for Jeffrey. Jeremiah Daly, Nick Green, Michael Keown. Great race, everyone. Nick, it's been fun, man.
Yeah, it's been a blast. I've enjoyed this season. Although I was really surprised at how cordial and nice everybody was for race 2 tonight. I thought there would be a lot more taking and a lot less given than what we've seen tonight. But I've loved it. This season's been great overall, so can't wait till next season 5.
Definitely, it was it was definitely interesting tonight to really see these guys and not really push as much as I guess we expected them to. Yeah, it's bittersweet. It was great racing overall. I don't think it was a boring race by any means. We saw a lot of action, and I definitely do want to applaud them as we saw the traffic management just improve a lot tonight with very close racing still to be had.
Yes, it was a good race tonight. And I'm showing your stream has ended already.
The yes on Discord it has, and that means we are coming here to a close. I will post the link one more time in chat for you guys as we come to a close here in season 4. Nick, is there any last words you have to share as we go dark here for the final time?
Just make sure y'all show up, watch for season 5 coming out in about 20 more days or 21 more days. So there's going to be a lot more good racing to be had. So you come join our Discord and get into some of these races, especially these one-off races. You're not going to have to commit to one full season if you just want to run a one-off race. We do a lot of those through the week. We'd love to have y'all join us.
Definitely, guys. And with that, we are going to close it out tonight. It has been a pleasure, and we hope to see you guys back again for season 5. We hope to see some of you on track. And to everyone in the multi class league, thanks a lot. You guys have created a lot of great racing. Nick and myself have just had a blast watching you, and we've learned a lot. And we hope you guys stay safe, and we hope to see you back again one more time as we close here for the Multi-Class League in Season 4. I'm the Mordecai. I've been joined by my friend and fellow racer, Nick King. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you back again in Season 5.